Another quick movie review. So this past weekend I watched Tiana Taylor in 1001. And I don't know why my eyes was leaking while I was watching this movie. I don't know. And I'm not emotional like that normally when it comes to movies, but it was something about this movie. Tiana Taylor did an amazing job. I like when you don't see the actors or the actresses anymore and you actually see the character, and that's what I saw in her in this movie. And she was a single mom that had lost her son to the system. She had been in and out of jail. I guess I related to what she did hair. She was just all over, a little bit young mother. And her son gets injured and he goes to the hospital, and then she decides to kidnap him from the hospital and from state custody and take him with her, and they kind of live on the lam, I guess. And she went to stay with one of her homegirls, which I thought the girl was really nice, letting her stay there. And once she found out that she was running with the little boy, she was like, well, what you gonna do? She had to have a plan. He wasn't going to school, but the friend was reading to him every day and they was trying to help him. And Tiana was looking for work, and she came back one day with him some nice little Jordans and things. And so she was a loving mother that was in a bad situation, and that is why we all, I feel like, can relate to that in some form or fashion. But she had a boyfriend that he was in and out of jail too, and when she was staying with her homegirl, Tiana hit the homegirl's mama, and she was like, how my mama is, which surprised me. And she had to leave there, so of course she got to find housing for her and the son, and she also have to make sure that where she goes with him, she can trust them, because nobody knows that they on the run except her and the little boy and the state that's looking for him, and her homegirl. And then her boyfriend, Lucky, when he comes back in the picture. So at one point he was like, what do two jailbirds know about raising a kid? And that part stuck out to me because none of us really know any freaking thing about raising kids all the way, because they don't come with instructions. They difficult. This one ain't like that one. It's a whole lot of reasons why we ain't really equipped 100% to raise kids. We just winging it. But he pulled out some old pictures and he was asking Tiana about it, and I can't remember her character's name. I should have looked that up. But she was like, my body was a playground before you. 1,000 men were used my body as a playground. And I thought that stuck out. And then, because I wondered when I first seen it, like, why did they call it 1001? I wondered. Then when I watched it and I heard her say 1,000 men, and then with Lucky being 1001, it made sense. So it clicked. Spoiler alert, he goes to school. He's smart. And it's probably because of the friend and her mom reading to him and teaching him. And he was kind of like homeschooled. It wasn't structured, but he was homeschooled. So when he got to real school, she got him some identification to go to school or whatever. And when he got into school, he ends up being really smart. They wanted him to go further. He didn't really want it, but she was like, this is what I did it for you to have a better life than me. And, we're going to do it. Her and Lucky ends up getting married, but he ends up getting sick and passing away. And she knew that he had a daughter with somebody else, and she accepted it, I guess. That's how they do. I had to give an in-depth, so y'all gonna put me to work. I'm gonna have to edit that, but that's okay. After Lucky passes away, T, the son, needs verification of his birth, so like birth certificates or security cards or whatever. And I guess he figured that she was dealing with so much stuff that he would just find it on his own. So he found something, turned it in. It was counterfeit. It wasn't him. So now the school is involved. They have questions. And of course, once the school get involved, they want to take legal action. And he's in the dark. He has no idea about what happened, or the questions and things surrounding his birth, and who his mother said he would. I mean, he knows only what she told him, which is like most of us. Like, we only know what our parents told us, and that's it. So he finally calls her friend, her old friend, and he happens to go back to the house, and she's there, and he asks questions, and she gives him answers. It's not the answers that he wants, but my eyes begin to leak again, because she wasn't his real mother, but the love she had for him and how she raised him was better than some blood relatives. So despite the way she did it out of love, and she risked it all for him, and she didn't give birth to him. But it was a beautiful story that took a twist. I wasn't expecting that, and when that happens, I'm always surprised, because there was no indication that she wasn't his real mom, and she risked it all for him. And he asked her if Lucky knew before he passed away, and she told him yes, and he didn't like it. But the love she had for him was so real and so pure and so beautiful that I'm like, leave her alone. Don't mess with her, because she committed a crime, which I guess is bad. But then you think about how much worse would he have been if he had stayed in state's custody with the things that's happening to the kids. But this was done amazing. I loved it. I hated that they parted ways at the end, and I kind of wish it was a part two. Like, what else happened? Like, how else could they go with the story once he grew up a little bit? It took place back in the 90s. It started off in the 90s. And I think, I can't remember if she had pagers then, but he watched a lot of VCR tapes, because he didn't have anybody to watch her. She didn't have anybody to watch him during the day. So I do know that it was set back in the 90s with some old things. But I will watch it 2 more times to pick up on more, because it was done so well, and I feel like I might have missed something. So if you're looking for something to watch, do yourself a favor and watch 1001 with Tiana Taylor. It was done amazingly. He opened grad with Lena Waithe. So she does Chicago. I mean, The Shy. So if you are looking for something good to watch, check it out.